The Celtics take on the Magic, 7 o'clock Eastern tip-off here on Friday. Orlando's -4, totals 228. If you want to see which game on the slate here today that I actually like the best, you may want to think about signing up for my NBA package on my premium page. Orlando just 3-5 on this season, doing a bad job shooting the long ball. Magic's currently in the bottom 10 in offensive three-point percentage. And they're facing a Boston club who's been tough to score points against. The Celtics allow fewer points a game than any other team. Tillman's out for the Celtics. Mo Wagner scratched for Orlando. Both squads saw unders in 4 out of their last 7, respectively. I like the Celtics +4. Under 228. Next game, Cavaliers, Wizards, 7 o'clock East. Cleveland's 13.5, totals 241 and a hook. The Cavaliers are 5-3 on the year. Washington just 1-7. The Wizards are in the bottom 5 in points per game. Terrible shooting it from the stripe. Matter of fact, the Wizards are making just 70% of their free throws. And they're facing a Cleveland squad who's definitely been good on the defensive end of the court. They're in the top 10 in fewest points allowed. Ball and Wade are out for Cleveland. Coulibaly scratched for the Wizards. Both squads with unders in 2 out of their last 3, respectively. I like the Cavaliers -13.5, under 241 and a hook. Pistons, Nets, 7:30 East. Detroit's -10, totals 227. The Pistons are 6-2. Brooklyn just 1-7. The Nets are in the bottom 10 in points per game, bottom 5 in offensive rebounds. And they're facing a Detroit squad who's been real tough to shoot against. They're limiting opposing teams to just 42% from the field. That is the lowest in the NBA. As a team, the Pistons are currently on a 4-game winning streak. Covered the point spread in all 4 of those wins. Sasser and Harris are out. LeVert's questionable. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn on the other side, Powell and Thomas, they've been scratched. And that's with unders recently against Indy, Atlanta, and San Antonio. Pistons with unders in their last 3 straight on the road. I like Detroit -10, under 227. Rockets, Spurs, 7:30 East. Houston's 2.5, totals 224 and a hook. Both squads are 5-2 on the year, doing a nice job on the offensive end of the floor. Houston's leading the league in points per game. 42% shooting from outside the arc. San Antonio, they're making 50% of their field goals on the other side of things. Top 10 in offensive boards. Victor Wembanyama, he's averaging a dozen rebounds a game. Club leader in scoring. Jeremy Sohan, he's drilling 50% of his long balls. Meanwhile, the Rockets on the other side, once again, leading the league in points per game. Alperen Sengun, 42% from beyond the arc, second on the roster in scoring. KD averaging 24 points a game. Injury-wise, Steven Adams, questionable. Dorian Finney-Smith is out. Meanwhile, for San Antonio, Olynyk and Sohan are questionable. Cornette and Fox are out for them. Both teams with overs in 2 out of their last 3, respectively. When it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game's being featured as today's NBA tier package play on my premium page. So if you want to see whether I like the Spurs at home or if I like Houston on the road, this game's being featured once again as today's NBA tier package pick. But as far as making a free play is concerned, I like the over 224.5. Raptors, Hawks, 7:30 East. Atlanta -2, total 235.5. And even though this is a super short number, the Hawks failed to cover in 4 out of their last 6. Having a tough time rebounding on the defensive end of the floor. As a matter of fact, the Hawks are in the bottom 5 in boards per game on D. And they're facing a Toronto squad who's averaging 121 points a game, shooting it well from everywhere. The Raptors are making over 50% of their field goals, 40% from downtown. Scotty Barnes, 20 points a game, 48% from long range. Brandon Ingram leading the program in scoring. Now injury-wise, Trae Young still out for the Hawks. 3 out of Atlanta's last 5 got over the total. Toronto with overs against the likes of Houston, Dallas, and this very Atlanta team. I like the Raptors +2. Over 235.5. Hornets Heat, 8 o'clock East. Miami, 4.5, total 243. Heat's 4-4. Charlotte just 3-5. The Hornets are allowing over 120 points a game, bottom 3 in defending the 3-ball. And they're facing a Miami club who's had little problems getting to the rack. They're a top 5-point producing team. Norm Powell leads the squad in scoring, 51% from long range. Simone Fontecchio, he's drilling 51% of his 3 balls as well. Bam Adebayo, scratched for Miami. Williams and Green, scratched for Charlotte. LaMelo Ball's day-to-day. 3 out of the Hornets' last 4 got over the total. Miami games went 5-3 to the over. I like the Heat minus 4.5, over 243. Bulls Bucks, 8 o'clock East. Milwaukee's minus 4.5, totals 240 and a hook. Both teams doing some great stuff on the offensive end of the floor. Milwaukee's in the top 3 in field goal percentage, doing a nice job shooting the deep ball. Meanwhile, Chicago's drilling over 40% of their three-pointers, top 10-point producing team. Josh Giddey averaging 23 points a game, 41% from downtown. Vucevic, DeSumo, and Buzelis, they're drilling over 42% of their three-pointers combined. Meanwhile, for the Bucks on the other side, Giannis is averaging 32 points a game. Green is shooting 52% from three-land. Taurean Prince, he's questionable for the Bucks. DeSumu's day-to-day for the Bulls. Chicago games went 4-1 to the over in their last 5. Milwaukee with overs in their last 4 straight in the Fiserv. When it comes to selecting a winner in this one, this game's being featured as one of my premium selections on my premium page today. But as far as making a free pick is concerned, I like the over 240.5. Mavericks, Grizzlies, 8 o'clock East. Memphis is minus 5, totals 230.5. The Grizzlies are just 3-6 on the year, 32% shooting from three-land. And no real surprise, Memphis is currently in the bottom 10 in points per game. They're facing a Dallas squad who definitely defends the 3-ball well, top 10 in fewest points allowed. Now injury-wise, Exum and Davis are out for the Mavs. Edey and Jerome still out for Memphis. When it comes to the total, both squads with unders in 4 out of their last 5 respectively. I like the Mavericks plus 5, under 230.5. Jazz, Timberwolves, 8 o'clock East. Minnesota's minus 12, totals 231. And for a team laying a dozen points in this spot here, Minnesota's been terrible against the point spread. They failed to cover in all of their contests this year except for 2. And a lot of that's on offensive production, or lack thereof, however you want to look at it. They're shooting it poorly from the stripe, bottom 3 in offensive boards. They're facing a Utah team on the other side who actually rebounds well on defense, top 10 in defensive boards per game. They also covered recently against Boston, Portland, and Sacramento. Anthony Edwards and Terry Shannon questionable for the Timberwolves. And when it comes to the total, the T-Wolves saw unders recently against Charlotte and the Pacers. Utah with unders in their last 4 straight. I like the Jazz plus 12, under 231. Warriors, Nuggets, 10 o'clock East. Denver's minus 9.5, totals 228 and a hook. Denver's 5-2 on the year, doing a nice job guarding the deep ball. The Nuggets are limiting their competition to just 31% shooting from three-land. That's best in the NBA. They're facing a Golden State squad who lost 3 out of their last 4, bottom 10 in offensive boards. Steph Curry's out for the Warriors. Jimmy Butler's questionable. When it comes to the total, both squads with unders in 3 out of their last 5 respectively. I like the Nuggets minus 9.5, under 228 a hook. With that, folks, we're going to jump into our next and final breakdown for the video. Thunder Kings, 10 o'clock East. Oklahoma City's minus 10.5, totals 232. OKC's 8-1, Sacramento just 3-5. The Kings have struggled offensively at home. Bottom 10 in points per game on their own floor, and they're also the worst offensive rebounding team in the entire NBA. They're facing an OKC squad who's been tough on the defensive end of the court. They're in the top 3 in fewest points allowed. They're also limiting opposing teams to just 42% shooting from the field. Now, injury-wise, Wiggins is out. Dort's questionable. Meanwhile, for Sacramento, Sabonis is day-to-day. When it comes to the total, the Kings saw unders against Utah and this very OKC team. The under with unders against Dallas and Atlanta. I like OKC minus 10.5, under 232. And with that, folks, now it's time for our quick pick recap. I like the Celtics +4, under 228. Cleveland minus 13.5, under 241 and a hook. Detroit minus 10, under 227. I like the over 224.5 in that Houston-San Antonio matchup. Raptors +2, over 235.5. Miami minus 4.5, over 243. I like the over 240.5 in that Bulls-Bucks game. Dallas +5, under 230.5. Jazz +12, under 231. Nuggets minus 9.5, under 228 and a hook. And give me OKC minus 10.5, under 232. And with that, folks, that's going to do it for me. Don't forget to check me out on my premium page. And if you do end up getting a membership here today on my premium site, just a friendly reminder, you're going to get access to that membership every single day for the next 30 days. And as an added bonus, you're also going to get access to all my cheaper memberships during that time frame, absolutely free. Going to be included with your membership. But most importantly, folks, gotta thank you for joining me right here on the free video. Really hope you enjoyed all this great free content, all this great free information. And with that said, happy Friday to you. Best of luck to you. And I look forward to seeing you later on today on my premium page.